That thing rolling, man.
Hey, what's going on, you guys? Coming back with a quick video. This is actually the last day of the trip right here. Actually, we're having our last meal before we leave. I'm getting ready to head to the airport pretty soon. But one thing I want to do before I leave is get my homeboy. This is my best friend right here. I want to just get kind of like a quick interview. Um, One thing I talk about on my channel, or at least I have in the past, is having a 5 to 9. So basically, everybody's working their 9 to 5 job. Well, not everybody, but most people are working a 9 to 5. But I think it's really important that you also have a 5 to 9. So you're 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., which is what you do after you get off work. And that time should be spent developing yourself, creating a skill set, something that could potentially replace your job in the future, or it could just be something self improvement. And it doesn't really matter what it is. It'd be nice to have a skill set that you're working on. But even if it's something creative, I feel like it's all the same thing. You want to be working on that. And he's an example of what it means to have a 5 to 9, and actually someone who's actually spent the last 4 years, working on that. And I'm gonna just basically just let him speak on that a little bit and talk about what your 5 to 9 is, and the process over the years, and where you are right now.
I mean, my 5 to 9 has always been kind of, or at least the last 4 years, has been like along with my calisthenics journey, my YouTube journey. I've created a YouTube channel probably about 3 years ago, and I've probably been doing calisthenics for about 4 years. And I started documenting my calisthenics journey and putting it on YouTube. I also started documenting my travel experiences and putting that on YouTube as well. And my whole vision for the YouTube channel, I really didn't even really know where I wanted to take it at first. First, I kind of wanted to go like the travel route, as far as making a lot of travel videos. My 9 to 5 for the past 10 years has been, actually over 10 years, has been working for the airlines. So I've been traveling around the world, lived in Asia, I lived in Japan, did an Airbnb business over there for 3 years. Traveled all around Asia, Taiwan, Korea, Hong Kong, Vietnam. Traveled to South America, Colombia, Brazil. Traveled all over Europe. Been to Africa before. So I kind of wanted to touch on that with my YouTube channel. But
And how long have you been working on your YouTube channel?
I've been working on my YouTube channel for like 3 years.
And how long did it take you to get to the point where you were actually able to monetize it?
It took me a couple years.
And that's one of the points I want to emphasize too. And I'm on this journey myself right now,
Yeah.
so I'm just documenting my experiences. I'm going through it, but one thing I'm realizing is that it takes a lot of patience. Things don't happen overnight, and he's been at it for 4 years until he got to the point where he's actually able to monetize what he's doing. But before that, it seems like, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but you've just been doing it out of the belief in it and the love for it. So
I feel like anything that you do or anything that you get into, you kind of have to have like a blind faith that you're working with. And if you're starting a YouTube channel, you're starting a business, even if you're just starting your fitness journey in general, you need to think of it as you're going to be putting the work in, laying down the foundation, and you're not going to be reaping any of the benefits for years to come. So you need to think about it as a 5-year plan, a 3-year plan, a 10-year plan, these type of things. So I started my YouTube channel about 3 years ago, and I'll probably say up until maybe February. Right now it's September 2021. I would say I didn't crack 1,000 subscribers until maybe, I want to say, about a year ago.
how many subscribers do you have right now?
I got 9,000 subscribers now, but up until about a month ago, I only had 2,500 subscribers. I actually just recently got about like 6,000 subscribers in about the past 30 days. So it's like it took off exponentially. And
another thing I want to touch on too is that, and I already mentioned it, it really doesn't matter what it is. As long as you just stick to the script and don't quit. And another thing I kind of wanted to get into a little bit, I want you to touch on it, the importance of having a skill, especially if you're a young man.
Yeah,
Like,
so
what is having a skill? What does that mean to you, and how can you utilize that?
So I think developing a skill set is extremely important. It's something, me and G are both 36. But if I would have started developing a skill set 10 years ago when I was 26, even if it was something like what I'm doing right now. I'm calisthenics, video production, video editing. You know, I'm doing like I've created an online training platform, so I'm not just relying on YouTube ad revenue to make money. I actually have online clients, so I do online training. Created a few ebooks, workout programs, digital assets. So these are all things that are a part of, that come along with developing a skill. My skill set has been health and fitness. So through that, I've been able to create some digital assets. Through that, I've been able to create video content that, people are consuming. And now I have almost, I'm at about 9,000 subscribers, and, my channel's still growing. So as your subscriber count grows, so does your basically. I don't look at my subscribers just as a dollar sign, but at the same time, these are the type of people. These are the type of people who will support your movement. So they will also consume your product. So if you're adding value to them with your video content, and you're adding value to them with your information and your skill set, then they'll purchase, whatever products that you have, because your products are gonna, add additional value to them. So these are things that you need to think about at a young age. Even if it's not something that you're I'm super passionate about calisthenics.
And touch on that. That's
I'm super passionate about travel. So these are all things that I wanted to create my YouTube channel on. But even if it's something that you're not extremely passionate about, still go out there and get that skill set. And when you're looking at skill sets that you want to develop, or skill sets that you want to cultivate, it needs to be something that you can eventually go into business on your own with. And that's the importance of developing that on your 5 to 9. Because for me, I did my 9 to 5 for a long time, and there would be intermittent periods where I was getting into like a certain hustle. Like when I was doing my Airbnb thing, living in Japan, I did Airbnb for 4 years. I made a decent amount of money doing that, and I didn't have to work my 9 to 5 that much. But now what I've done is I've actually transitioned my 9 to 5 completely and replaced that with my 5 to 9. So now my content creating, my online fitness business, my digital assets, those are all my 9 to 5 now. So I put all my time and all my energy into my 9 to 5, which is my own business. And I'm not really thinking about that old life of, having a job. If I ever need to go get another job, I can go do that if I need to.
And the skill set, the importance of it for me is that that's what will set you free. So I don't think you should be, especially in the beginning. And I'm telling myself this also. It's like I can't be too picky. It's like just having one can set you free. Even if it's like John said, if you're not passionate about it, you can't really get hooked on that in the very beginning.
It's better if you're passionate about it.
It's better, definitely, but don't let that stop you. Because a lot of people like me, I don't know what my passion is. I just know I like to learn. So maybe that is my passion. But yet and still, whatever skill set I choose, I just look at it as that skill set is what's going to buy my time. It's going to buy my freedom. It's going to set me free. So I kind
of look at it from the standpoint of what I was doing with the Airbnb thing before. I had an Airbnb business, made a good amount of money doing it. Wasn't passionate about it, but it was a seed, and it was able to kind of give me that free time away from my 9 to 5. So and I spent 3 years basically not working and living in Japan. I mean, I was working, of course, but I was working for my own business. But I spent 3 years in Japan on my hustle with the Airbnb thing. And I had about, probably anywhere from like 10 to 12 Airbnbs at a time that I was managing out there. And it wasn't something that necessarily I was super passionate about, but it was a learning experience.
Right.
And with that learning experience, it kind of helped me like manage business, manage my finances, learn about taxes, different things like that, going into business on your own as a sole proprietor, and a little bit about entrepreneurship as well when you're hiring other people to do things. So it's just, I think these are all experiences that we need to have. And if you can start off, even if you can start off at 18 years old, that's even better.
Yeah.
But if you can start off in your mid 20s, the sooner you can start off, even if you're watching this video in your mid 30s, it's something, I always like to use the example of Colonel Sanders. I don't think he started KFC until he was like 66 years old.
Yeah.
So it's never too late.
Yeah.
It's never too late to start a business. It's never too late to get on your entrepreneur grind. And it's never too late to get on your 5 to 9. So I definitely think that 5 to 9 thing that G's always talking about is something that you guys should definitely invest in.
And definitely for the young man, if there are any young man who's watching, because I wish I would have been thinking like this in my early 20s. And I was telling my nephew this, you know, in a long conversation we had a couple months ago. He's 21, but you know, that's the perfect time to start. And if you could spend, you know, he's 21, spend the next 4 years, 3 years just developing that skill set, whatever it is, you know, you could be in a great position by the time you're 25 and definitely by the time you're 30, you know. So just some food for thought, man. I think it's really important. I think John is a great example of that. And I have some other friends who are doing some great things too in regards to their 5 to 9. Some of their 5 to 9s has replaced their job. And I'm gonna try to get them on here too, get a quick little interview. But
I think that's like, honestly, I think going forward, like especially right now, because we're kind of in the age of like technology, and we're in the age of like there's a lot of jobs that are actually going to be obsolete pretty soon. Even the job that I was doing previously at the airport is going to be scaled back completely because of artificial intelligence. So when it comes down to these, what I like to call well-paying dead-end jobs, and I call them well-paying dead-end jobs, is because I don't think they're really going to lead you anywhere in terms of fulfillment. They can give you, money to start your own business or money to take care of your family, different things of that nature. But the thing is that they're easily replaceable because a lot of them are unskilled. And even if you're making $30, $35, $40 an hour doing these unskilled jobs, you know, those jobs, a lot of people might look at these big companies and they think that, you know, it's something that's, it's like a stable job or whatever. But I don't really believe that there's such thing as a stable job because, you know, at any point you can always lose that job. The economy might take a downturn. You know, you might end up getting in some trouble at work, or you know, you might have a manager you kind of don't see eye to eye with. So these things all can happen. But so investing in yourself is something that you're going to want to do because, you know, the ball is in your corner. You're the one who's responsible for putting food on the table. You're the person who's responsible for generating that income. And
that's the purpose of the 5 to 9.
Exactly. And on top of that, to me, it's just the freedom that comes along with it. You decide how you're going to spend your time. You know, of course, you're going to have to put the work in. Honestly, you're probably going to be working more than you were working at your 9 to 5. So you can think of it in terms of hours that you're going to be working in a day. You might have been working 8 hours a day at your 9 to 5. On your entrepreneur grind, you might be working 10, 12 hours a day. But a lot of times, if it's something that you enjoy, it's not going to feel like you're working 10 to 12 hours.
Yeah. And I don't want to make this video too long. It's already touching almost 13 minutes. But the name of his channel is Growth Through Calisthenics. I know a lot of my followers actually came from his his platform. So a lot of you guys are already familiar with John. But, you know, for the guys who's just been following my channel, definitely check his channel out, too. It's really good content. And that's pretty much the Hawaii trip, you know. So I'll try to keep these videos coming, you know. But that's it for the most part. You got anything else?
No, that's it, man. I'll just recommend to everybody, invest in yourself. Don't put too much don't give too much to your job as far as exerting all your energy. Save some for yourself. When it comes down to the investments that you're making, even if you're investing in cryptocurrency, the stock market, index funds, different things like that, put a portion in there, but at the same time, you should at least be putting the exact amount of money that you're putting into those investments into yourself. So if you're somebody who wants to start a YouTube channel, make sure that you have a sufficient camera. Make sure that you have a computer. Make sure that you have a editing software. Make sure you have all these type of things. If you're somebody who's investing into your physical fitness, you know, make sure that you have the tools to train people. You know, make sure that you have the proper knowledge base or anything that you might need to invest in. You know, and there's countless of other endeavors that you guys can get into out there. But make sure that you invest in yourself just as much as you invest in everybody else. And, you know, monetarily and with your time and energy. So that's all I have to say.
All right. Well, we're going to leave it at that then. Man, stay up and stay positive as always.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.